Are you a woman who wants a life outside the home? Perhaps you want a career of your own, or you don't want to have children, or are homosexual, or are old, or are not religious, or don't believe that you need a man to protect and watch over you? Well, congratulations, because during the height of the witch craze in the 14th century, you would have been labeled a witch.
We have found the witch, may we burn her?
It's October, and by now we've seen witches, skeletons, ghosts, and vampires since early September. But did you ever wonder about why they look the way they do? If you close your eyes and imagine a witch, you likely imagine a green-skinned woman with a wart on her nose and a black dress and conical hat, riding a broom with a black cat across a crescent moon, cackling madly and saying things like,
"I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too."
But why? Why is this image so iconically locked into our cultural zeitgeist? And how do these symbols get locked in as the fundamental images of the witch? The modern image of the classic witch is based largely on the depiction of the Wicked Witch of the West from the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz. The Wicked Witch of the West in the movie was green, and not because her mother chugged potions while having an affair with Oz, or because Oz broke her heart and her sister poisoned her, or because she was jealous, but because in 1939 the film was made in Technicolor, one of the first full-color movies to be made, and it was decided that the witch seemed scarier and would appear better on film if she was emerald green. The copper-based makeup actually caused several problems during production, including dyeing Margaret Hamilton's skin green for days afterward, and causing allergic reactions until they changed the chemical makeup. But even the earliest depictions of the Wicked Witch of the West show her with a pointed hat and a flying broom. And to understand these symbols, we need to go back even further. The Pointed Witch's hat is hundreds of years old. The exact origin of the hat is not totally known. Two of the best theories for the witch's hat is they are a variant of the Quaker women's hat that was popular during the 17th century, or it is a variant of the sorcerer's hat, which itself was derived from the pointed Jew caps worn by Jewish men in medieval times. Both of these theories carry some serious probability. In the late 1600s, Quakerism was the hot topic of religious persecution. They believed in insane ideas like human rights, women's suffrage, and that the church shouldn't be extorting tithes. Crazy, right? Quakers also allowed for spiritualism through human relations and the importance of women. And oh boy, that did not go over well with the Church of England. During that time, Quaker women wore black pointed felt hats with a wide brim. Look familiar? It was easy to adapt some of the, by this point, centuries-old generalities about witchcraft to these independent and outspoken women and label them as witches. But what about the flying broom? For that, you got to go back even further, back to the mid-1400s with the Malleus Maleficarium, the definitive witch-hunting Bible. Described in the book are some of the things that can be expected from a witch. She's old, she's naked, she's riding a flying goat backwards while cackling madly, because that's what witches do. They challenge norms, and they act in ways that are contrary to the society. They use household tools in ways that are not intended. You silly woman. You're supposed to clean my house with that, not fly. Funny story. One of the major groups of women that were accused of witchcraft were herbalists and midwives. And there is some stories from Spain of women taking hallucinogenic herbalist medicine and preparing flying ointment, which would permeate through the skin of their hands, legs, and other places. These ointments would give the sensation of flying. So our green witch dons her pointed hat and takes to the sky on her broomstick, but there is still one witch symbol that is older still. One that is so basal to the witch that it has been a symbol of witchery since ancient times. The moon. The moon is associated with the feminine goddess going right back to Artemis, and of course, the mother of witches herself, Hecate, the Greek goddess of magic, spirits, witchcraft, the night, and the underworld. Hecate was a goddess who was shepherd of spirits to the underworld, the lady of the night, and she is still worshipped by pagans and witches today. And you want to know what her symbol is? The full and crescent moons. For me, it is very interesting to see how this commercially reproduced image does in fact combine pieces of witchcraft throughout all of history. Since the beginning of history, women have played a powerful and potent role in our society, and there have always been those who are independent, protective, and intelligent. Those are qualities of a good witch, and such people keep their eyes and mind open and are always creative. Thanks for watching.